9, 0.
You know what? I just noticed that I just turned my mic on, so I've been talking for a long time and you couldn't hear me. So I'm sorry.
9, 0.
And you heard that on the microphone. You know what? I just noticed that I just turned my mic on, so I've been talking for a long time. Oh my God, y'all. And you couldn't hear me. So if you're just tuning in, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, and you heard the phone call I just got. So start all over again. We got content coming out um on our podcast, Universal Studios Islands of Adventure. Also, we have content coming out, Mob Full of Bosses, Boss Talk. Also, we have content coming out on Jap Vision, which is our comedy segment. And this is Carver Ranch's Life Common Sense, my personal podcast. Well, not my personal podcast, my personal segment on our podcast, promote the Danger House Records, also to promote Mob Full of Bosses, and to promote anybody else who wants to be promoted on our podcast. I'm sorry about talking for like 10, 15 minutes and there was no sound, and I fixed all of that. Now, I'll make sure next time that there is sound for everything. So if you go through and speed it up, you'll notice that I did turn the microphone on and I can see it on the screen. So let's get back to it. So One Motion Podcast, Boss Talk uh, is our music segment. Universal Studios Islands of Adventure is a segment with me and our cameraman Jobo the Hobo, who is going to have a segment on our podcast that's behind the motion for the recording of how we do our recordings of everything that we do, even the music. We're going to add the One Motion Facebook page, and we're going to add links to the Facebook page to be able to watch every episode and everything that we stream from the One Motion podcast and everyone's individual Facebooks. So shout out to Stray, Danger House Records, which is Jeepers, uh, Munyon, Mob Full of Bosses, Stray, and record at Brian's studio, which we're going to have up there on our podcast channel. A video of one of our guys, one of our singers, singing a whole song in Japanese. So please look and watch the channel, and we'll have it out there for you. Jap Vision is coming starting Saturday. We're going to try to do a live episode of comedy for about an hour with Jap Vision and another comedian. I can't remember his name off the top of my head, but all this is going to be added. All this is going to be added to the channel. So I'm gonna give me a second. I'm gonna turn my phone off because I can't deal with all these people calling me right now, and I got my ringer off, but that's on the Bluetooth on the Wi-Fi. I mean on the speaker. So I turned the speaker off. So let's get back to this episode, Common Sense. Try to make it as professional as possible. Try not to do as much cussing as I can. Right now we stream, and also I am streaming my career on 2K, so you can get to see how a my career player is created and the things. It's almost like a movie, so you get to see that as well. We also have content of Madden, NFL, me playing with the Dolphins, which I'm pretty good. Also, we have we're going to be able to talk to Munyon here soon over the phone while he's in prison. We're just waiting for him to get something wrongfully accused. Shout out, be safe, bro. We also gonna have content coming from Hollywood. We're gonna do a recording with one of my friends, Sean Robinson. He owns a dojo, Tiger Fist Dojo in Fort Lauderdale, Florida. Shout out to him, and shout out to Big Trick Daddy, who just opened another restaurant in Fort Lauderdale. I grew up down there, and I love that place. It's part of where I'm from, and I learned a lot down there. I lost a lot of people and a lot of family members down there. So, just wanted to give a shout out to all the people that's trying to do something to help everybody out. Everybody that's on my Facebook, if I didn't shout you out, y'all know I love y'all. My family, I love y'all too, even though, nobody was there for me. They was there when they could be, but in my eyes, it wasn't enough. But I still made it through. I've been shot a couple times and stabbed 3 times. So, that's the life of growing up, my life, pretty much. I can't say everybody's life, that's mine. So back to that, I went to college and was able to see, some countries and got to do a couple stuff and make some money and, meet some different people, and get to see how other people live their life in these other countries. I was able to do the Holy Walk of Mecca, which is the fasting in Jerusalem. I did that for 3 months. Ain't nobody knew where I was at. I just disappeared on everybody. I should do that all the time. Nobody really didn't, ever care or ask to know where I was. So, I did mostly everything by myself. That was one of the reasons I never got caught when I did the stuff that I did, because I did it all by myself, and I made sure that nobody got hurt. That was my main thing. That's why I did mostly everything by myself. I learned a lot of stuff and how to do things by myself. So growing up in Miami, learning all that stuff and being able to learn and be able to hustle and learn the game helped me get through life. And then being able to be book smart too, as well, is something, that was good for me as well. So going to college and being in Tallahassee, where girls are of an abundance, it's crazy. From 1994 to 99, I was living in Tallahassee, going to with Florida State and Tallahassee Community College. So I got to see everything. There was a party every night except for Monday. Tuesday, we would go to BW3s, and they had 25-cent wings. College students, we needed a cheaper meal, so we would go there. They would have parties, and then Wednesday we would go to the Moon, and then DJ Demp will host most of the parties at Club the Moon. Shout out to DJ Demp in Tallahassee. And Thursday night would be Club CPA, Club Park Avenue. Friday night would be a party somewhere, either late night library or one of the dorm rooms, and then we'd go to the flea market on Friday on FAMU campus. And then Saturday night was the Moon grown folks night with 21 and older, but we still was in college. We still got in that thing. You know what I'm saying? So, shout out to Peter Ward. He was there when I was there. To Mary Van Ogle. A lot of them cats was there when I was going to school up there. And they just hosted something for them at the football game last week. So everybody keep, shout out to all these, people that I know and grew up with and was able to have a little bit of fun with. So, when I thought after college, I'm going to keep that short because that's in the first episode. After college, I moved to Virginia, lived in Virginia and near Hampton University in Hampton, Virginia, near where Allen Iverson owned the Radisson Hotel top floor. The whole building, just the top floor. He had his logo and everything on, building. And my best friend was going to school there, and I went up there to get away from, life and try to start over. Work for MCI WorldCom for about 2 years before I moved back to Hollywood. But while the time I was up there, I met a lot of cool Navy guys and some Zopound people that, knew some family and people that I grew up with down in Miami. It was pretty cool living in Virginia. I got to meet Allen Iverson after their loss to the Lakers in '99. I think it was 2000, or after the loss. And he used to come, and we used to go to his parties and stuff like that, hang out, and growing up there, being up there after college, I got to go to Michael Vick's draft party and got to go see him play, get to see Marcus Vick play after watching him play against Florida State and going to the Florida State games. It was good that I got to meet him and see what type of person he was. He's a really cool guy. You know what I'm saying? So after that, growing up, after, living in Virginia, moved back down to Hollywood, did some things for a little while and got into some trouble and had to leave Hollywood and move to Bradenton, where I am now. Well, I'm in Sarasota now. But I had to leave Miami in that area because of a certain situation that went on. And if you know me, I wasn't the nicest cat back then at that time. I was licensed to carry firearms. I was doing a lot of stuff. And, some people talked to me. I ain't gonna say coerced me. They talked me into getting back into that game. And I did. And some people did some stuff. And then they involved me and came back and called me the leader of the gang after one of the guys went and turned himself in with some firearms that belonged to me that had nothing to do with the crime that these guys got arrested for. So they got me involved, and I ended up going to jail for the feds wanted to question me about some friends had found something and got caught and ended up going to prison for some money they found, and it was fake, counterfeit money. So I'm gonna have to pause this for a second because my garbage people are backing up and they got a lot of noise coming on. So I'm gonna turn the mic down. Sorry about that, guys. Garbage man is going around. He's picking up our garbage. Oh, finally. Oh, come on, man. Stop that. Come on now. You can pull off now. This podcast is from my house, so excuse the noise from the garbage man pulling up. My house and my room is not soundproof. We're just something that we decided to start, and we just adding as much content as we can. I'm just introducing y'all to myself. I'm CRP DJ from Carver Ranch, Florida, which is called West Park now, which is it's next to Miramar and next to Hollandale. Then you have Miami, Carol City next to it, Hollywood, which I love the city of Hollywood, growing up there, going to the clubs. Then we got Dixie, which is Davie Boulevard and Dixie Highway. Well, when I was growing up, that's where all the prostitutes and most of the drugs was back then. So back to, what I was saying, we was after going, living in all them places and then coming back to Hollywood, we was always poor, didn't have no money. You know what I'm saying? My mom worked and took care of my brother's 3 kids. You know what I'm saying? And sacrificed a lot for our family after she got clean from drugs. Which drugs played a major role in my life. Not me being on them, that my mom was on them and influenced by the drugs and ended up owing so much money to certain people. So these people came back and demanded their money. I paid them, worked my ass off to pay them, and got that done. And then moved on. And I know I'm just going back and forth, but you understand where I'm coming from. It's a whole story, and it's not going to be able to be told in just one or two segments. There's going to be a continuation of different things that I say. That's leading off, leading back to something that happened to me in my life. So that's a better way to give you a perspective of it. So we are also, uh, when I moved back after involved in that, being involved and not being involved, so to speak. I knew about it, but didn't know about it, if you can understand that. Because the guy who did it came back to me and told me what he did in front of someone else's family member. And that's what sparked the cops coming to my house and the feds coming to arrest me and question me about. It was about 5 or 6 other cases that they had that I did. Two of them I knew the people, and 3 of them I didn't know the people. You know what I'm saying? So I could never understand that, you know. But they got the information. I didn't tell them anything. I didn't know nothing. You know, I knew the people, and they asked me, "Oh, is this so and so?" Yeah, that's so and so. Okay, well, what did so and so tell you on such and such date in front of this person? I'm like, nothing. Well, that person told us that such and such said this, that, and another. Well, I if that's what they said, that's what they heard. I didn't hear that. I was half asleep. You know, they came and arrested me. Well, they sent the SWAT team to come to my house when I lived in Sunrise, and they tried to make me testify against one of the guys. And I told them, I said, I don't know. I say, and the prosecutor was like, well, didn't he tell you so and so? And I'm like, no, he didn't tell. I don't remember what he told me. I say, really? We was just talking about what happened that morning. You know, about the cops stopping him because he skipped school, and they let him go because they talked to his grandma. I said, that's what he told me. I say anything else he said that this person's family member overheard is something that they overheard, because he didn't tell me that. You know, so that's the way that went. I sat in federal holding cell for about 5 6 hours, and then they took me to they finally let me go. I was in same clothes for 3 days, because after they tried to charge me with perjury, saying I perjured myself on the stand because I didn't corroborate what this person's family member told the police. And then the detective put in his statement that I corroborated the person's story when that was a lie. He didn't have any recordings of me corroborating, and I didn't sign any documents stating that this person, you know, told me what this person said. I never did any of that. So I'm in these guys' paperwork for some stuff that the detective tried to involve me in, but that was never going to happen because I wasn't involved to begin with. True enough, they found a couple of my guns and some ammunition that did belong to me, because I did was a concealed weapons permit holder, and had some firearms when I was younger, and so that's the only thing that connected me to these guys. They found a AK-47 banana clip that I had purchased from somebody 2 months before. That was brand new. I don't know how they got it. They didn't even have the gun for the clip, but they had the clip and the bullets. That never make any sense to me. So from then on out, I stopped. That was the first time I tried to help some people out, and it backfired on me. I was told that I couldn't live in Miami for a little while, so I went and moved up here and stayed down there for about 10, 15 years. It's been a while. Then I lived up here from 2006 to 2012 in Bradenton. Then I moved to Indiana because I thought I was in love and lived in Indiana until 2012. And was homeless in Indiana for maybe 8 months, 9 months, because the girl moved me up there, used me, spent all my money taking care of everything, and then I was stuck. But me, being the cat that I am, everybody was, we help you get back. You can live with so and so. No, I'm not that type of person. So I hustled, got me 2 jobs, made enough money, and moved back in 2018 to Bradenton, and got my own place. Lived with my brother for a little while, got me a job, got me a vehicle, got my own place. And from then on out, it's been me trying to survive. I got married to a girl that I still love, but I can't never be with her again because she didn't love me back. Come to find out, she was using me too. She might say she wasn't, but for a lot of that time we lived together, she wasn't working, especially when we was married and living in Orlando, which inspired the Universal Studios and Islands of Adventure content to be added to this podcast. She makes some amazing shirts, and we was going to add that to the podcast too, and also start her own business. But you see how that panned out. She divorced me and left me. Took everything, so I had to start all over again, and that's where I'm at now. So to all my friends and family, I'm good. We gonna put as much content up here as we can, and all of y'all follow your cousin, whoever what part of the family you is, follow me. Please support me, support our family. I'm gonna try to get as much of y'all, many of y'all as I can, and interview y'all as soon as possible. As soon as I figure out how to do a zone video with the podcast and interview other people and have a double screen. So that's coming soon as well. So to keep going with the story, after all of this and in between getting married and moving on in my life, we done started a podcast. We got all this content coming. Carver Ranch growing up in Carver Ranch was one of the best times in my life. It was, I wouldn't say rough, unless you made it rough. We used to go to Carver Ranch Park. We used to go to Washington Park and play basketball every day. Saturday and Sunday in the morning, we play basketball. Or football season, we have play football at the youth football leagues. Swab Jaw was one of had a team. Miramar had a team. Hollandale had a team. Pompano, a lot of famous football players like Lamar Jackson, who played for the Pompano Chiefs. Denard Robinson, who played for the Pompano Chiefs. Dalvin Cook and his brother, who played for Miami Central, or whoever they played in Miami. Watching all these kids grow up and play football was good for me, and I love to see it. I also, got to see, a lot of crime and violence and learn about what to do and what not to do and how to live your life and not how to live your life. So we're going to try to do as much, content to help as many people as we can. That's what One Motion is a movement. We're trying to move and upgrade and hopefully help everybody to upgrade their life. Put you in a better space, better situation. If anything that I could say that can help somebody out is, something good for me. Because I done had it rough. Like I said, I was stabbed when I was 7. And I don't wish that on anybody. I done told a lot of lies to people about how I got stabbed and, because I want to keep them safe. But the people that was involved are not involved anymore. Everybody that passed away, so I can tell my story. And hopefully it inspires, other people to move on. And, I have a friend, my sister's best friend, her son killed himself. Her name is Christy. and her son killed himself, man. And that's not. I wish that he would have got the help he needed for his depression. And if you have any type of depression, please seek some help. Please. I could have been in your situation, to be honest. I could have been depressed. You know what I'm saying? I could have let all this stuff that went on in my life, with the choices I made, I could have let them make me do bad or worse stuff than what I did. But I didn't let it control me. I controlled it and let it work for me. So I hope everybody's inspired, and I hope that we all are able to move on and do better in our lives. So that was what I wanted to do. I wanted to come on here and just like kind of recap my life and to what got me to this point of starting this podcast. Because my friends, Mob Full of Bosses, who are going to have this segment, Mob Talk, have had the equipment to do the podcast for almost 3 years now. I found out about it, and my friend Si came to me. He was like, "You divorced, you got all this time on your hands. Go ahead and do a podcast. Do this podcast with us." Came up with all these ideas of different segments, and that's what we're going to do. We're going from here on out to do this podcast. So keep on the lookout for Boss Talk, Mob Full of Bosses, Danger House Records, videos and music content added to the podcast. Jeepers, Munyon, shout out to Stray, all them boys on Danger House Records. Brian, who owns the studio and does all the music. We're gonna add his video on there. I'm gonna make sure it gets added on in the night tonight, so you guys can see him singing that song in Japanese. So if please subscribe to the channel, hit the like button, and also Dolphins game September 14th, live tailgate from 8 to probably noon. We're gonna probably go in the game about 1 o'clock. So we only gonna do the tailgating from, I'm gonna say noon to 12. I mean from 9 to 12, my bad. 9 to 12, 9 a.m. to 12. September 4th, Sunday. September 14th, Sunday. We're gonna be at Dolphin Stadium, tailgate, live tailgate with the best fans in the world, Dolphins fans. So we're gonna have cooking. I'm gonna be walking around with my GoPro. We're gonna talk to as many people as we can. So watch that live streaming. If you can't watch the live streaming, go back and watch the recording. So once again, sorry about the 10 or 15 minutes of no speech when I started this episode. I'm gonna go and have my cameraman edit that out. So as soon as we get that edited out and get some of this content that I got on here edited out, we'll get y'all to see. It's all gonna be done professionally when we get the proper equipment. The camera, the GoPro is the last thing that we need, and that's this coming Thursday. So 2 days from now. This is my last day off. So I'm going to also, I'm off till 3 tomorrow. I'm going till 3. I'm doing dishes tomorrow. So a chef that does everything. That's what we do. We cook, we wash dishes when needed to be, we serve, we talk to customers, we do surveys to make sure our residents love our food. Also got content coming from me, streaming live, cooking something. Whatever you would like for me to cook, send me a message or put it in the comments, and I'll put it on my channel. We'll put it on this channel for everybody to watch. You want to learn how to cook something? Let me know. Shout out to my sister Ina, Chef Ina. Shout out to Chef Murad Ali and his restaurants in Hollandale and Hollywood, in Fort Lauderdale and Miami. So shout out to everybody. And CRP DJ coming live from Sarasota, Florida. Sarasota, Florida. Carver Ranch is life.